Dewey, you're a good guitar player, but it's the 20-minute solos, stage dives. I'm trying to land a record deal here, man. You're an embarrassment. Read between the lines, Theo. Read between the lines. Hello, everyone. How are you doing? It's really nice to see you. I hope you're having a really nice day. My name is Sam. Welcome to the Pear Pod. Gators bitches better be using jimmies. How are we doing, everyone? Welcome back to the Pear Pod. Just doing it off the cuff today. No real plan, but got through some pretty significant work yesterday, and I was like, let's just do the pod quickly on a Thursday. Because we know what happens when I do stuff the day of. No one watches. I get it. No more NFL content. Holy shit. Could have just fucking put it in the comments, guys. So, do you know what's good? It's good and bad, right? Because it's good because the episode before last nearly got 100 views. And that's triple figs. And that's how Daddy likes it. Daddy likes triple figs. And the last one... Yeah, the last one's not even making 50. So, people don't like Tom Brady. Not a lot of Patriots fans. Okay, last time I tried to do something like that. Just gonna keep it honest. Don't try and, jump on a breaking news story. I got a text message. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, if you can hear the, there's some insufferable builders just hammering. How much hammering can you do? Like, it's incredible. And drilling. There's drilling going on now as well. So enjoy that, the undertones of that. Fuck, that's annoying. Maybe I'll be able to, write it out. Maybe only I can hear it. You guys can't hear it in the mic. I don't know. But these are incredibly expensive microphones, so probably can't. Anyway, not a huge amount going on this week. Quite quiet. I'm just going to check my notes to see what is Gucci. Yeah, so a few bits off the top. I might even start with this because it's quite relevant. Those of you that are a fan of my podcast are probably also fans of another popular podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience. Basically, yeah, everyone listened to it. I'm not one of the lads who's going to go on and be like, Jesus, I love it so much and it changed my life and all that kind of stuff. But the guy does have at this stage now, he has access to the most amazing guests. And as an MMA fan, his MMA podcast in particular, the guests he has are fucking incredible. His MMA knowledge is unreal. He works for the UFC. He's seen everything. So on that side, yeah, it's very interesting to listen to. But I don't know if people saw that. Yeah, there was a bit of controversy because of 2 episodes in particular, I think, that he had on. He had 2 doctors on who both spoke about COVID stuff and talked about vaccines and stuff like that. And there was a fuck ton of backlash from it, apparently. And you know us, we love the backlash stories, so we can give our thoughts. But from what I saw, or from what I saw, I listened to a bit of the episode just on the Clips channel. I don't listen to it on Spotify. It's just who has 15 hours to listen to it. But I listened to the clips on it, and from what I heard, one of the doctors, Dr. Robert Malone, maybe, not sure. Don't go fucking mad. But yeah, he apparently was, or from what I've been told, and I'm going off what is said in the Joe Rogan podcast, but I'm sure the facts that he gave about the guy's credentials were true. And he was a key member in, or if not the key member in the mRNA vaccine, which is the vaccine we all use for the COVID vaccine. So they have a discussion about the effectiveness of vaccines and his thoughts on the vaccine and stuff like that, and just gave honest opinions about it. I'm not going to go into the specifics, but some of the stuff that he said did counter what was being, pushed out by the media and by the government and stuff like that. Anyway, that conversation led to a fuck ton of backlash, and then Neil Young, some good tunes, but what the fuck? He threatened to take his music off Spotify as a result. I think a number of Spotify employees as well were after the I think there were some comments made about transgenders on his podcast as well. Again, which led to huge uproar and Spotify employees threatening to walk out. So the podcast and Spotify's taking on of the podcast has led to some friction, let's say. But this one in particular, Joe usually doesn't give his thoughts on it. He usually just lets it marinate, and then sometimes he'll acknowledge it on the pod, sometimes he doesn't. But this time he actually came out with an Instagram video addressing everything. And here's what I like about Joe Rogan, right? Obviously I don't know all of his specific beliefs and all that kind of stuff, but in this case he addressed it. It seemed very calmly. He just broke down the points that he had, and he reiterated a number of things that I think people are forgetting, which is he's just a podcaster. Do you know what I mean? Yes, he has a lot of influence now because of the success of the podcast and the scale and all that kind of stuff. But he's a podcaster. He himself chooses the guests that he has on. He does his own bookings. He obviously he can reach out to essentially whoever he wants, I guess, and see if they want to get on. But that's what he does. He doesn't have a booker doing it. He doesn't have someone telling him who he should have on, and he wants to just have interesting conversations with those people. But even with that said, if there's anyone I want to hear talking about the effectiveness of the vaccine and what we should expect from it, it's the person who fucking found it or made it, or at least was very involved in making it. So it was all a bit mad. But he I think he broke it down very well. The extent that he's being put on this pedestal because of the success of the pod and the listenership that it has and stuff. But it's admirable in a way that he wants to keep it the exact way it was, which is he's not a doctor. Do you know what I mean? And he never claims to be an expert on any of the topics that he is speaking about. He's very humble in the fact that he says, I do my research, but he always never says that he's super knowledgeable on any topics, even though sometimes he's done a fuck ton of research and knows a lot. He never comes at it from he always comes at it from the angle where he wants whoever's speaking to explain it to them from I guess from the perspective of us, which is someone who might not know a huge amount about it. So he always takes that into account, which is lovely. And it seems that people are just pissed off because, I think in this case, the pro-vaxxers, anti-vaxxers, God, whatever the fuck that is. But they seem to be fucked off because, simply because the message that was pushed out from that pod, not a message, it was just the conversation they had didn't align with what the government was potentially pushing at that time. So it's Joe Rogan, the Joe Rogan experience isn't a news source. You know what I mean? It's a place people have conversations. So I thought it was handled fucking well. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't blown up. It wasn't blown down. I think it was addressed the perfect way, like a one take, selfie cam, very eloquently put, addressed all the different elements of it. I think it was very well done. And at the end of the day, I think this will blow over and be another thing people were mad about for a while, So yeah, kudos to Joe Rogan. Keep doing your thing, my boy. I'll keep it, I'll keep things tight over here on this side, as the number 2 pod. The Pear pod. At this time, I would ask you all to subscribe because you know, you guys aren't going to be here at the end. Let's be realistic. We've all got what you came here for. You got to look at the goodies. Yeah, a few other little bits, right? Also, while we're, you know, semi in the MMA world, Khabib was on the Full Send podcast. I don't know if people know what the Full Send is or who the Milk Boys are. They're a very popular YouTube channel that now have a podcast and just have access to most outrageously good guests. But they had Khabib on the podcast, and honestly, he came across so well. He obviously he's promoting like his new organization, like the Eagle FC and stuff. But they talk about loads of different things, and every time I listen to Khabib more, I'm like, fuck, he impresses me more and more. He's very humble. He even though like all the success he's had, like he's still incredibly humble guy. Just comes in like pair of shirt and jeans, like nothing crazy. Considering who he is, and he just seems like a fucking cool dude. And they asked him all the shit about coming back and anything like that, and he was like, "Nah, he's done. I think he is done." But I'm interested to see what Eagle FC does now, as a fight promoter, and see if they can kind of disrupt the market a little bit. Because Jesus, can you hear that? What are you doing? ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Geez, it's fucking odd. You know what I mean? There's no sense to it. There's no sense of rhythm. It's just blind fucking hammering. Yeah, I can feel it in my soul. But yeah, it's a good pod. If anyone's MMA interested in the audience, it's a good listen, man. And they ask some pretty decent questions. It's not hugely MMA focused, but it does. He does get into like his motivations from some of the fights and stuff like that. So yeah, that was good. I was going to go into a little bit about I want to do my musical feature this week was going to be on Oasis, and it was going to be the theme of this pod before the Joe Rogan thing came up. But yeah, I found a Spotify playlist, and it's an Oasis live playlist, and it just got me so back into Oasis again. God, I was mad into it. I think I first got introduced to Oasis by my friend Tommy, who was a big fan of like rock music in general when we went to Irish college. He got me into, I think he showed me Gas Panic, or he was learning to play Gas Panic. You know, what's on this ghost of sin crept through my curtain, singing on a sea of sweat on a stormy night. I think it all got a name, but I can't be certain. That'd be such a good walkout song. I think it's real haunting, but it. Yeah, man, I just went back. I don't know if people have seen the Supersonic documentary. It's so good, so good. And it just, after seeing, like, obviously, I wasn't old enough to appreciate Oasis when it was going, in like, you know, 90s and then early 2000s before it was 20 fucking, you know, 12, 13 before I even got into their music at all. And just going back, like, seeing the friction and all that stuff with Liam and Noel, and like some of the antics that went on, it was very rock and roll. But I never realized the scale, particularly how big they got. Like, they were the biggest band in the world. I think they attendance wise, they did a show that like broke fucking every record they had. But here's my take on it. There's lots of takes on people on why they broke up and all that kind of stuff. And madly, I actually heard some people being like, Noel, like a lot of people, or definitely an opinion online is people think Noel saw Liam as the singer and wanted, and was like jealous of him. And from what I've seen, and like, you know, from being a fan and like from my perspective, like, if you don't think that Noel is the money, you're fucking crazy. Like, Noel is Oasis. Obviously Liam is as well. And like, vocally he's fucking crazy, but like it's, you know, it's fucking lyrics like cold and frosty morning, there's not a lot to say, like that. Like the particularly the first two albums, definitely maybe, and What's the Story, Morning Glory, like those two albums that Noel wrote. Obviously I'm sure there's songs that other guys contributed to and stuff, but like as a songwriter, it's the songs that people fell in love with. And from what I saw in the doc and from a few interviews that the guys did, it seemed like Liam, when Noel said he wanted to do some songs acoustically and sing them, which in my opinion he has every right, like obviously he has every right to, he's written the songs, and like you want to be able to sing your lyrics, do you know what I mean? It's and the guy's got a fucking great voice. Not as good a voice as Liam in my opinion, but you know, I still hear like some of his acoustic songs, or his acoustic versions of songs are some of my favorite. Like Don't Go Away acoustic is magical, and it lets you appreciate the lyrics a lot more. But it obviously Liam was the showman, do you know what I mean? And like he lived the lifestyle, and that led to crazy friction. And like some of the stories you hear, like, you know, Liam coming in and trying to hit Noel over the head with a fucking guitar, and you know, them going to fucking like having blows, and Liam going after his dad and stuff like that. Like it all led, or like it all like created a bigger aura around the band. But it's like the fact that like I may never get to see Oasis live is heartbreaking, because if they were like, we're gonna go and tour the What's the Story, Morning Glory album again, I do like a greatest hits tour, oh god. And because they're brothers, and because I have a brother, and I know that like sometimes when like you fight or you scrap with your brother or whatever, you're like, I actually hate this bloke. But in so many cases, like the next day, you're like, I said, do you know what I mean? Or like, I love you, do you know? But in this case, there's so much added tension because of, you know, this scale of how big the band got and all that kind of stuff. It just adds to more pressure. But I think ego is just so dangerous, man. But it seems that Noel was always like, the band is about the music. That's what this is about. People connect with the songs. It's not the show or the bullshit or the, you know, the birds or anything like that. It's about the music. That's what people, they come to hear you do fucking Champagne Supernova. And like, you know, see to hear the fucking guitar solos and see Liam fucking hunched over. You know what I mean? They like that's that, like when they leave that concert, they'll go back to just listen to it on their phone again. It's the music that people connect to. So I think Liam wanted more. Liam thought that people loved every part of the story, including the chaos. And it's just a shame, because the music is so good. It actually is. And the more I like, now that you have, you know, you got all the littles, you got little Zanny and little Perky and little Lemonade, you got all the guys, and Phil and Lil from, you know, Rugrats. That's the original the original Lils. But man, now that you listen to so much shit music, to be honest, and especially like rock might not be for you or whatever, like that. I don't know who can say that kind of music. At least some songs don't appeal to people. But even if you don't like that type of music, the lyrics are fucking beautiful, and they're so like incredibly simple, but also like feels like you could write them almost, you know, but you never could, because you don't have you just can't say things that beautifully. But that's the way I like some of the lyrics you listen to, you're like, oh Jesus man, I don't even know I don't even know where you got that from, in that story. But like Noel's songs are stuff you could be like, you feel like if you were real pissed on walking on a beach somewhere, you'd be like, I should just slip inside, you know, the eye of my mind, and you go, oh, do you know? But he just has such a beautiful way of putting that into music. And it's unfortunate, like I just seeing now, going back and watching some live shows, I feel like we should, I think after all this, I had 2 clips, but now I'm like, maybe we should just go watch a fucking Oasis live clip for a little bit of nostalgia, surely, like. I think we will. I was gonna do it, the Shane one. Maybe I'll do that next week. Yeah, maybe I'll do that one next week. Sorry, it's funny. It's a Shane Gillis like skit that he did. He just released. It's fucking hilarious. But I think now with the after the Oasis speech, I think it makes sense. So, can we activate viewing mode? Boop. Thank you. Okay, these are going down. Other headsets going on. Apologies for the hammering if you can hear it. It's pissing me off as much as you. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I think we're gonna do a live song. I think we're gonna do "Don't Go Away" live. That's my tune right now. Live is particularly magical. Yeah, we'll do this one. Okay. All right, folks, enjoy. Oh, the guitar. Voice is so good, man. It's fucking crazy.
Just to make things right.
Okay. I'm not going to do the whole tune because it's very long. But, oh, God. Do you imagine being there live for that? Good sweet God. That would be absolutely nuts. Be absolutely nuts. So don't go away. His voice there just sounds, I know, like, it seems a little bit forced now. It sounds a little bit forced now, his voice. But right then, Jesus, man, just fucking fills the fucking arena, I'd say, that voice. So figure it out. Figure it out, lads. Fuck. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to get to the stage where you're too old and no one gives a shit anymore. I don't think that'll ever be the case. But you've got a ton of fans here who were, they were slurping on fucking bottles when you were doing your thing, like, and I would love to fucking see you do it live. So let's figure it out. But yeah, this gets me so juiced to see, like, the beauty about those lads. Obviously, the songwriting is absolutely phenomenal, but they're just normal lads. You know what I mean? You've got Peggy Gallagher. Oh, Gallagher, please. Fuck, it hates me when Americans say, hey, is that Noel and Liam Gallagher? Nice, man. Oasis is fucking slip inside the eye of your mind. You know, fuck off. It just pisses me off when they don't say Gallagher. Yeah. Hey, it's Noel Gallagher. Man, rock on. Fuck yeah. Don't look back in anger, fucking whore. Man, I just heard of this awesome band called Oasis. Oasis. Man. Yeah, I mean, they got this fucking dope tune about champagne. And, man, just fucking, you guys probably wouldn't like it 'cause it's pretty deep. But I like it. So yeah, just do a fucking Ireland tour, man. Just do Slane Castle or something. Let Sammy get down there and get off his tits. I think that's going to be just about it, folks. I'm just having a look at the me and you, what's going on? Yeah, I know this was a little bit shorter, but no, we're not gonna win awards every week. So if I could see you all getting active in the comments, I very much appreciate it. I'm going to get some more clips up this week on the Pear Pod. Actually, yeah, so if you wouldn't mind jumping over onto the Pear Pod, just fucking like the reels and shit, and leave a comment under if you've got some thoughts on what you'd like me to speak about. I'm going to keep it like, until I hear otherwise, I'm keeping it as is. I'm going to try and find little components to add in, like clip of the week. People love clip of the week. Sam's clip of the week. No one said it yet, but I'd like if someone would say that. But yeah, until then, thank you all for watching once again. Subscribe, like the video. I'll see you all next week. Every Sunday you will see me. I swear to God, you'll see me on a Sunday. Someone's gonna have to seriously. I'm gonna have to get seriously fucked up for me not to get a pod up on Sunday. Something's gonna have to go seriously wrong. Yeah. What's on this coast to sing? Grab through my curtains. Sailing on the sea is wet on a stormy night.